Man, it's dreary, rainy. Just, man, it's so irritating. I got to drive to Brighton and stuff for all these signing days that have to make up. Oh, man, I can't stand the rain. I can't stand the rain.
Well, Thomas, brother, it could be like last week with the ice storm.
That's a point.
All right, guys, my take one this week, we're going to do some makeup recap from the ice storm from last week, and I'm glad to see basketball is back for our city. First of all, I want to give a special shout out to our special guest that we had a few weeks ago named Chris Chiozza, who is still undefeated and is going to the state round next. They beat Arlington for going to qualify for the state yesterday in Jackson, 32-29. Congrats to the Eagles in the boys games. And let's give some girls some shout out to West Carterville 21, White Station 18. So good luck to the Dragons going to the state as well for the girls middle school action for that. So congratulations to all the teams that were participating in that and this week as well. Congrats to Millington on a great year, and congrats to Arlington on a great year, and congrats to Lakeland on a great year as well in middle school. Some makeup games: Christian Motors 47, MUS 27, Briarcrest 66, St. Benedict 49. North Point got a huge win yesterday at home against FACS 58-54. Haywood 74, Covington 49. Craigmont beat Millington yesterday 73-69. Bartlett beat Carterville and boys 71-55. And Bartlett girls beat Carterville 50-34. Craigmont girls beat Millington 44-40. FACS girls got a huge win at North Point 54-49. It actually wrapped up the regular season district championship for the FACS Lady Crusaders. Congratulations to Coach Moore on winning the district regular season in that one. And St. George's 53, Harding 50, and MHEA 47, St. Benedict 26. And that's some makeup games from the ice storm from last week. Last Saturday night, I got to see Lausanne boys show how dominant they could be, possibly going into the postseason with a good winning record and probably advance. Could basically bring a gold ball back to the city of Memphis for the state, in general. They got to play North Point Saturday night at North Point. They won the game by 13. I got to interview Coach Davis, the head coach of Lausanne Lynx, and a familiar name in our area, Seth Granberry, who is a guard now at Lausanne. So I got to hear from them. So look forward to that interview now. All right, this week on the JS Report, I got Coach Davis from the Lausanne Lynx, who won today in a hostile environment at North Point, 59-46. Coach Davis, congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel to get a good region win on the road?
It feels good. I mean, you know how hard it is to continue to win when you're in region. You're gonna get everybody's best. And North Point is good. They got a really, they're really well coached, and they got one of the best players in the city, one of the leading scorers in the city. So, it's always good to come out and get a good win.
What can you say about your season so far?
I mean, these guys are playing unbelievable. We're 25-2 right now. I'm so excited about our team, but we got to finish the deal now. We got to stay hungry. We got to keep grinding.
I talked about with other coaches in the area as well how important these games, to get them going at the right time, especially for the postseason. By playing, like you've played a tough schedule early on non-conference as well. Talk about how important those games are to get your guys ready for a tough region.
Well, that's the thing. We played almost a national schedule. We've been all over the country, but everything was in preparation to try to win district. We win our district, that sets us up better for the region, and that was the ultimate goal, was for us to try to get ready to see a lot of basketball. We played against some of the best competition all over the country. So, like I said, I think we're well prepared, that's for sure.
Talk about how your defense held North Point to pretty much one shot all ball game.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we preach. My guys will tell you, we work on defense every day, in practice. We're a really good defensive team. So we're just going to try to make sure we keep a lot of pressure, sit down and keep them in front. And just the first half really kind of dictated what we wanted to do.
Coach Davis, good luck the rest of the way, man.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
All right.
All right, now we got Seth Granberry from Lausanne. Coach, Mr. Granberry, congratulations on the hostile environment win tonight.
Appreciate it.
So, go. Hey, Greenberry, just talk about your performance tonight against North Point.
We had a week off, so we try to get it back on our feet. So I just made sure we came out with energy, facilitated. It wasn't a big scoring night, but as long as we get the win and our teammates get involved, have fun, that's all that matters.
So how important was this key win on the road tonight?
We need every win the rest of the year. We got big games coming up, and this was just a good tester to get us a good game. Get us a good game before we have a big week versus ECS and FACS. And it was a good win. Everybody got touches and everybody got a point. We just one game at a time.
How's the tradition going from Millington Central last year to Lausanne? Like, what can you say? Like, what could be the difference between last year and this year? Like, could help you out at the next level?
Just playing more with the team. Whereas Millington, it was more of a 1-2 guy show. When this is 6, 7, 8 man punch. Where we just playing as a team and playing as a system, because you don't see that on a college level. So we just preparing me. Coach got me in the right positions. We got assistant coaches. Just everybody want to see me do better, and that's what it's gonna be like on the college level. So that's really what's been helping me this year.
I tell you what, man. I tell you what, your game has gotten a lot better throughout the summer. I told you during the summer, just keep grinding and keep doing your best, and you're doing your very best so far, up to date. So just keep up the good work doing that. Stay hard work in the classroom, and keep up the good work being a Lausanne Lake.
Sure.
All right, guys. It's crunch time for a lot of teams for my Take 3 this week. Thomas, district tournament is approaching. It could be like some teams start their region tournaments this weekend, and some of them start the district tournament starting next week.
Yeah.
So, who do you think for some girls' games, or the girls' teams, that could be possibly bringing the gold ball or making a deep run that might surprise teams, going further?
Well, I don't think we'll have too many surprises. I think you just have to go with, look at the records and see who's the status quo. And the first thing that comes to mind, the Bartlett Lady Panthers. They got the talent, they got the skill set, and they got the hunger from last year coming up short. So that's the team in our area that jumps out across the board. And in the private school, FACS has a talent. The young lady name escapes me at this. Boy, I saw her a couple times this year at Millington in the Christmas tournament. She is a bona fide superstar. And in girls basketball, if you got that one difference maker, you can go a long way surrounded with the right pieces. So FACS jumps out to me in Bartlett.
I'm going to say if Bartlett girls take care of business, last year, they lost in the sub-state game on the road 3 hours away.
Yeah.
So if they can just take care of business, this all starts tomorrow night, in my opinion, when they got to play Arlington, the makeup game. Yeah. And if Bartlett girls can beat Arlington girls, we can get that win under their belt with a little bit more confidence, because Arlington's had their number as of late in girls basketball.
Well, Ashley Shields is, she made it to WNBA, so she knows what she's doing. Then Tamika Whitmore, another WNBA great, all-star. So they got great coaching. So Bartlett will have to play up to that level and match that intensity. If they do that every game, treat every game like it's an Arlington game, they could go very far because their talent's there. They have to just play up to their great coaching that they have at Bartlett. They should be unstoppable. But Arlington, you have to throw them in the mix as well.
In other regions, I just want to bring up, don't be surprised if you see a Lausanne girls make a possible deep run with the coaching change they got now, because they had a coaching change in the middle of the year, and I think they're clicking on a little bit on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Because Coach Jessica Green, who's the assistant coach over there, and also Coach Dinsford, who's actually filled in for that coach, has done a great job on and off the court. But I just want to bring up also another team that might surprise people. Don't be surprised if, I know Millington girls are struggling right now, but Coach Nichols could basically turn that team around, as well, because he's had that experience from other coaching backgrounds at different stops, and they basically have gone far in that other places that he's been.
Well, they got a couple great athletes. Ayanna Ransom, she's a talent, and Bailey Boone. If they play, smart and play together, the shooting, that's why Millington's struggling. If they can get the shooting to be consistent, Ransom's shooting is picking up. She's getting better for hitting the three-pointer. And Aubrey Young, the junior guard, if she's on fire, you can't beat Millington. So if their shooting picks up, they will be a dangerous threat.
And how could I forget about Coach Lee Smith at Briarcrest girls also, the senior heavy basketball team that he has this year as well, because this is the year that Coach Smith could bring a go ball back to Memphis. because one, he's been around the game so many years. Two, and like we just talked about, they are senior heavy on that basketball team. On the boys' side, Briarcrest boys could basically bring a gold title back. Cooper Haynes, Jay Nash, the player that is going to Ole Miss. Let's just talk about some other teams. St. George's boys are probably going to be making some dangerous, maybe some noise. Some Bartlett boys hopefully can go far. Could Bolton boys this year, after winning 5 games last year, going to state last year, they could make some noise again. You never know.
Well, if we you talking about a dark horse? That team shocked everybody last year. They kept winning the right games. The athleticism kicked in at the right time. The continuity kicked in at the right time. They took to the coaching at the right time. I think this year's team that could be that Bolton team last year, the Millington Trojans. Coach Joel Gates has a very talented squad that's just been a little misfortune, injuries here and there, but everybody seems to be coming back at the right time. Blake Garner and Brandon Payne, they play within themselves and play with an intensity. Cody McGee is getting better at the point guard, and they just added an 8th grader, Markel Sellers. And now, I'm not saying him because, his last name is Sellers.
Any relation?
I got to find out. So it might be my little cousin. But yeah, he's a nice little piece that's added to the mix. So Millington could be that team that keeps winning the right games. They lost to Craigmont by 20 in January. They had a 10-point lead on them twice last night, and that game slipped away from them. So they're trending in the right direction.
Yeah, and also I want to bring up another team, Coach D. Wilkes and the FACS boys.
Oh, yes. He's built a powerhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. Give them a lot of credit as well. They were senior heavy last year, and they brought a gold ball back. But you never know that what could happen this year with Coach D. Wilkes.
Hey, are you not mentioning the Houston Mustangs for a reason?
No, okay.
Are you being Bartlett John right now? Are you being Bartlett John right now? Give the Mustangs some love.
I am, don't worry.
Yeah, they're a threat to y'all.
They are a threat because they've already beat us once, but we had a player that wasn't available that game.
Oh, we got reasons already. But the Mustangs are going to, y'all might be on the opposite side of the bracket up there in Murfreesboro.
Hey, Brock Weiss and Maverick Miller are playing hot at the right time. We got to give them a lot of credit, and Coach Rob Sabo as well, a lot of credit as well. How about Germantown Red Devils with Anthony Matlock? You never know.
Yeah, they want to be in that mix too. Yeah, they want to be in that mix as well, definitely.
I know a lot of players are looking interest, coming up soon as well regarding Mr. and Miss Basketball finalists. So a lot of players are going to be looking out for their name coming soon in the next couple of weeks regarding that. And Thomas, it's crunch time for a lot of teams. Go out and support the kids. They really do deserve it. And
don't forget our teams up there in Tipton County.
Mumford, Brighton, Coach Gatlin, and Coach,
Coach Nick Butte
Pondexter.
Yeah, Coach Pondexter with the girls. Mumford, they're going to give somebody a headache up there. So there's a lot of good basketball up that way. Haywood, their boys, they're going to be in the mix. Ripley is always a dark horse. They know what to do around this time of year. So a lot of good basketball in West Tennessee.
Don't be surprised when Coach Stan Gatlin either.
Yeah, and his Brighton Cardinals. Hey, they called him the Mad Gator for a reason. He can put some things together. He's guard heavy, but he'll run you to death if he has to.
That's my take 3 this week. I take 4 this week.
Hey, well, stop.
What, Coach Case?
All right, because I had to sit here and listen to your take 3 for like 10 minutes and you went over and you named every single basketball program almost in Shelby County schools. There's one team that we did not talk about, they're a dark horse, could they sleep on anybody? We only have one of the best players in the state of Tennessee on our team.
Who would that be?
That would be the Cordova High School Wolves.
That's why I brought you on, Coach.
Well, because, if we're just being honest, okay?
We like to be.
We like to be honest.
Yeah.
Nobody does more across this state than Terrence Scales.
Absolutely.
More with less.
He's done a wonderful job.
Nobody does more with less. Okay? Every single year, there's one thing that you know about Terrence Scales and his teams. They are going to play as hard as possible. Okay? We are outsized. We are out. We got 6'4" guys trying to guard 7-footers. We got 6'4", 6'3" guys battling 6'10" guys at Houston. But we're always just right there in the mix.
Absolutely.
And so I'm kind of interested. How come we never really discussed why was Cordova High School not part of the?
Yeah, that was our take 4 this week.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's a JS report. It's a JS report.
It's my JS report. It's a JS report.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
So let me ask you though. Hold on, you didn't bring them up either. You had plenty of times to bring KJ Tanner and who is just an unbelievable talent.
Yes, Coach Case, yeah.
Just a man. I mean, he's probably one of the best point guards. Well, I can't say the best because we'll talk about the first the
First 48 coming up.
the first 48.
Yeah.
Okay, but he is the second best point guard
Yeah.
to ever come through Cordova High School.
Wow.
Absolutely could
The
agree
kid
with
is
that.
special. So he said, I'll wait till take 4. What is your excuse?
It's the JS report, and I was following his lead. That's not good enough, Coach?
He asked you who could possibly. He asked you who could possibly be dark horses. That was your moment to say, you know what? What those Cordova Wolves can do on any given night is they can shock the state of Tennessee because we are capable on any given night. It doesn't matter. And now our size puts us at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that you know about Terrence Scales. Them boys are going to come out and they
They're
are
gonna play
going to
defense.
fight and claw to the very last second.
They will play defense all 32. Yes.
Yes.
So I apologize for that oversight.
It's okay. No, that's perfect.
But that's why you're here today, because Cordova has been the overlooked school the last few years.
Yes, sir.
Not only in basketball, but football.
Yes, sir.
Ever since that aforementioned, who we're going to talk about later, point guard graduated and left, it's like the last 5 or 6 years, people have forgotten Cordova's there.
I know.
You know, and so
And just how special of a place that Cordova really is, and how the talent that we've had come out of Cordova over the past few years is next to none. I mean, I don't know how many. I'm not just saying this across the state of Tennessee, but I'm talking about in the country. How many schools can possibly say, you know what? We got 4 NFL draft picks from Cordova High School playing in the league right now,
wow,
and we have potential.
a couple more.
to get Matthew Bedford, who is at Indiana. He will be a draft pick next year. Jerome Corbin, Jeremy
year.
Banks,
Yeah.
and then Quentin's already in the league.
Wow.
So you got 4 people that were on one team, and we still want to talk about Bartlett.
No, Coach.
No, joking.
Not for the coach.
I know.
I do have a lot of respect for Coach Scales and Coach Tonio out there. They do a great job. Like you said, they do work hard for the kids, and they do love the kids for one thing as well, because they've always put some good product out there as well, because they could be a dangerous horse like we just talked about. That's one reason I saved it for you, because they played East Net State Championship game, which we're going to talk about in general. But
I mean, we can if you
nah,
want
it's okay.
Yeah, recent history, Cordova name has been in the mix for a lot of things, basketball, football wise, and the 2 big sports, the revenue sports, as
Right,
we like to call
right.
it. And y'all have surprised some people in baseball, softball, been competitive in those. Those programs are still going. So, as I guess as a AD, and you're watching this, what direction do we talked about it earlier. We want to get rid of that dirty Dover
Yes.
perception.
Yes.
What do we want to turn it into?
That started with our football hire. Okay. We recently had a coaching change, and yesterday we brought back the legend John Doughton to restore our program back to where it was when he built it. Sometimes when you got some issues at your house, you keep calling repairman, but sometimes you got to go back to the man who built the house.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. We went back to, because this is a time where we were in a position that this hire had to be right. We had to get this hire right, because we can no longer take steps in the opposite direction. Because if you look at what Joe's doing at Carverville, he's building a powerhouse over there.
Yeah.
You look at what Miller's going to do a great job at Arlington. Okay, I really think he's going to get Arlington. He has those boys playing hard. Everybody knows what Salisbury does at Whitehaven.
Yeah. Tucker at Bartlett.
Tucker, Lance coming in, and Lance is an Alabama guy, which I love. But Lance coming in, I think that once Lance he's kind of settled down and embraced the Bartlett community, man, he has turned that sucker around. I mean, I remember when I first got to Cordova, we were beating y'all like 50 to 0, and now we're getting beat 50-0. So Lance has done an unbelievable job. And then what Rodney does out at Whitehaven, nobody, he's a legend. So this was, we are in, if you want to just, we're in the toughest.
I said the SEC.
The SEC, yes.
No
And I'm tired of being Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
so we hired John Dalton, and it was just when we did his interview, you know, his heart and his passion, his love for Cordova High School is unmatchable. The man lives on Wolf Den Circle. Okay, he is Cordova through and through.
Wow.
And we all know the type of job that John is capable of, but he's going to bring a level of heart and passion back to that program that we've been missing.
Wow. And when Cordova's doing good, I know you hear this cliche, when the Yankees are doing good, Major League Baseball is great. When the Lakers are doing good, and when Cordova's doing well, it raises up everybody else level. That great rivalry between Whitehaven and Cordova. So we're going to get back to those days. No longer, when we look at the schedule, we can pencil in Cordova as a win.
No.
Okay. So, but we know through the basketball program, consistency does work. Coach Scales, what he's done, that name has been there for years.
Mm-hmm.
Great players have come through. And one is about to set a record on the NCAA level. Mr. Tyler Harris, we know he ain't afraid to shoot. When he was with the Wolves, he was not afraid to shoot. I mean, a great game against Brighton out there. That overtime game, the classic between him and Gatlin. They were going back and forth. Went on to do wonderful things as well at the University of Denver. So talk about Mr. Harris, another Wolf on the next level that's about to do something historic.
Here's one thing that people really need to understand about Tyler is a special. There's not a lot of Tyler Harrises just walking around.
No.
Okay. If Tyler Harris was 6'2" or 6'4", we wouldn't even be having this conversation because he would be in the NBA right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's no doubt. What I remember when I first got to Cordova and hearing, oh man, when we got this kid, when he steps in the gym, he's in range. And I'm sitting there looking, I see Tyler, a little bitty guy, and he's sitting there. And I remember one day at practice, he was like 5 for 5 from half court. I mean, he's just unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, what Tyler is capable of, and what he did for Cordova, what he did for the city. I think that we kind of. Which I understand between East and Lomax, he kind of got shadowed a little bit, but Tyler has emerged as the talent that we all knew that he was capable of. Yes. He just needed the right home to go to show what he's capable of.
But you brought up a key point there. What he did for our city, people don't realize when he committed to Memphis, that opened up the floodgates for Penny Hardaway.
Oh yes, sir.
To do what he's been doing the last few years. The hometown kid stayed home and say, hey, we got to trust in this guy. Came back to him. Mm-hmm. And helped us out tremendously last year, make the NCAA tournament run. So he's beloved.
He made the tournament for Memphis, basically.
Yeah. So basically, he's beloved here, and he can get anywhere he wants for free.
And what people don't understand is Tyler had offers to go. Baylor, coming in Baylor. I mean, he had and what Baylor wound up winning a national championship. He had all these offers, and then you want to take your chance on Penny coming in, and he understood what moving, bringing in the talent that Penny was bringing in. But no, he loved the city, and he wanted it for the city because the city meant something to him. And I don't think people really understand how much the city of Memphis, that Tyler, how much he loves. It's a special place to him.
I mean, it definitely showed how much the city embraced him when he came to town the first go around when he played in the FedEx Forum. Standing ovation. He might not have scored a lot that game, but he did score most of his points from the free throw line in that game. But like you said, to me, like I tell everybody these days, the 901 is getting a lot of overlooks from size.
Yes.
To me, size does not matter regarding football or basketball to me because they work hard as anybody. Because, think about it, you got some players playing D1 football right now in our coverage area, like we compare. Mm-hmm. Tyler Harris playing college football or college basketball at South Florida. Mm-hmm. He's 5'9". Lincoln Perry's 5'9". Mm-hmm. And some of these, I know the NIL and recruiting process right now is getting a little bit harder, but it won't hurt just to offer these kids and see what happens. This is the way I look at it.
Okay, well let me stop you there.
Okay.
Because size does matter. Okay, because when you have a 6'10" wide receiver at Houston and you got a 5'1" DB on him, he's mossing him. He's all day long. Yeah.
No,
So,
just talking about,
I know, but
no,
yes.
not talking about like,
But yeah, John, we talking about hard.
Yes, hard.
Yeah,
I know,
our
and you
kids
can't.
have it.
And a lot of the smaller guys, their heart is bigger because they have to. You know, I mean, they had that little Tasmanian devil type.
The
You
Napoleon
know,
complex.
yeah, where
overcome
their heart is going to be bigger, honestly, than most of us bigger guys because they have to work harder. You know.
there's a few other players that I do want to talk to you about that
Yes, sir.
are
Yes, sir.
promoted Cordova High School in a good way as well. Like you said, Quinn Bohanna, who's playing for the Cowboys right now, and starting pretty much the whole defense. I also want to bring up, like we just, Quinn Bohanna, defensive tackle, nose tackle, you name it, for the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
Congratulations so far on an awesome NFL career. First of all,
Going
for
into his
Quinn
third
Bohanna.
season.
Just talk about what he did for the city of Memphis and Cordova High School in general too. I also want to give a shout out to good luck to Jeremy Banks and Jerome Carver in the NFL draft coming up. So hopefully y'all get drafted and we'll come out and support y'all in your future NFL homes when y'all play the Tennessee Titans or somewhere close. So good luck to those two players as well.
So going back to Quentin, you know, Quentin is a large specimen of a man. Okay, he's a dominant force, and he's probably one of the most dominant football players that I've had the opportunity to coach. And it's not just his size that makes him who he is. The one thing that people don't know about Quentin Bohannon is his football IQ. His football IQ is next to none. There's nothing about the game of football that he does not know, and I'm talking about from any position. He can tell you what wide receiver stand's supposed to look like. I remember his senior year, we're playing Houston, and I'm talking to Will at halftime, and Will was like, man, every time, you know, we got to keep changing the calls because every time we come up, Quentin's yelling out the play.
Wow.
He knew
on the high school level.
on the high school level, and it's not like he was just a student of the game and he stayed on watching film. His football IQ is just unbelievable. Yes, his size and his force and his dominance, we can see that.
Absolutely.
But what makes Quentin who he is his football IQ and just how smart of a player he is, because he can use his size to his advantage.
He has that LeBron quality, savant of the game. It's nice to be 6'8", 260, but when LeBron had that press conference and he recounted everything and they ran back the film, and I think he broke down what the guy was serving in the front row to the person who ordered something. It's like, that's scary. So when a kid's doing that on the high school level, that is special. That what separates you, makes you super special. And hey, Cordova's had a lot of special people come through. And John, I think you have one more question for us.
There's Coach Anthony Jones out there that we want to give a lot of love out there too, because he did play for the national championship this year.
Yes, sir, he
as
did.
a running back coach at TCU as well, the former Cordova High School football coach as well. So congratulations to Coach Anthony Jones on a great career so far, from TCU to Memphis to pretty much Cordova playing days. Do you have a special game from Cordova days that Coach Jones coached in that you might remember? That you might not be a win per se or also a loss, but let's do a win first and then maybe a close loss.
Can I just tell you a special moment that shows you the type of person that Coach Jones is?
Absolutely.
Okay. We were playing BTW my first year for homecoming, and I remember walking out. This was pregame, and Coach had his head down, and I could see something was wrong. And I was like, Coach, what's going on? Man, look over there, man. There's nobody here to support these kids, and he was crying. And he was like, man, these kids deserve better. He's not talking about Cordova kids. He's talking about BTW kids. He was like, this because he has a heart. You know, he is a college. He's on the college level, but he is a high school football coach at heart. Okay, he has his mentality, and I remember, and that's when I realized, man, this dude is the real deal, because he knows what it's about. Yes. He knows, and
it's bigger than wins and losses.
It is, and that's why Coach Jones is where he is, and that's why he has continued to rise, because for one, he does it the right way. For two, he does it with heart and passion, and that's why we were so successful under Coach Jones, because Coach Jones, the type of leader he is, he leads with love. You know, there's questions about how to be a leader, with the iron fist or with the heart, and because he gets everybody, as far as coaches too. I mean, he gets grown men to buy into everything that comes out of his mouth. And he just has that gift about him. But I can the loss. I know exactly what that one is. It was when we got upset by Central in Major's first year in the first round of the playoffs. We gave up a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter, but we're not going to talk about that. So that was in how
I was there.
and how the conversation in the office afterwards. That was, we're just going to leave that one. You know, but when it comes to good, what was the good games? It's more about just points on a scoreboard when we were together. You know, every single day was good. Every single day was fun. He made it fun, and it was not just one moment because Anthony Jones just didn't coach for one moment. It's who he was every day.
Yeah, the coach profession.
I'll bring another game up that me and Thomas and other coaches have talked about throughout the year in general because you had a lot of talent on that field. How about that Arlington Cordova game was like 72-63. And the week after, y'all lost to Pearl Cone at Pearl Cone.
In Nashville on a Saturday. Trust me, yes.
And I got phone calls from like other coaches in the area. How are they doing in Pearl Cone? Are they ready for Tate Colwick in the district game next week? I was like, hey, they had 2 tough games back to back because we did see a lot of talent on that field in that Arlington game as well.
Think about it. Just think about it.
You got Devin Chandler, you got Jeremy Banks, you got Tate Colwick, Jerome on offensive line. Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, he's doing a little something.
I think I've heard about him before.
Yeah. As a 49 fan, yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we just talked about like the special talent on that field in Cordova in general in that game.
Well, just to stop you right there, and I hate to cut you off, but because you mentioned Tate.
Yeah.
I don't think people really understand how special Tate was too.
He was our athlete of the year here. We did.
Tate was he would going into that game or going into that season. He was probably the quarterback that I feared the most that season, just because and people don't understand. He's a baseball kid. Yeah. That kid showed up.
He could have walked on
a week before football season and was just like, all right, I'm here to play football for 3 months and then I'm gonna dominate. And I'm gonna go back to baseball. Yeah. You know, I mean, so Tate was really good, but that game. It was in the 70s, if I remember.
Yeah, 72-63.
Yes. There was no defense played on either side.
Hey, you're on the defensive staff that year.
Hey.
He's being transparent.
But Jimmy Banks did have, do you remember how many touchdowns he had that game?
7.
Mm-hmm. You know what the state record is?
7 or 8.
It's 8. He won behind the state record. Yeah. Oh man.
Wow.
But yes, Jeremy Banks had a great game. I mean, but there was just so much talent all over that field. And then would go back to the previous year when we against Whitehaven, when you had Aubrey Miller on. You know, that's when you had a lot of talent with Aubrey, and Bryce was a freshman over at Whitehaven. Yeah. You remember the linebacker I'm talking about?
Yes.
He was and so there was a lot of.
As a youngster.
I mean, I just don't think people understand the amount of talent we have in Memphis in football and basketball.
Yes.
But I do want to close with this. I want to also congratulate Coach Bowman on his new adventure at Temple. That's another Cordova connection. So congratulations.
John, we're gonna be here all day if we keep going down the list of Cordova.
No, that is true. But you keep going. Because to be honest with you, since you're
somebody's got to get back to school for the kids.
No, it's after you take 3, it's not meant. You need to keep going down the list to make up.
But anyways, let's give a lot of credit to Coach Bowman as well for what he did to Cordova, and congratulations on his new
Coach Lockett, Oregon.
Coach Lockett, Oregon, who is basically running back coach over there now too as well. So congratulations to all the Cordova athletes and coaches over the years, and I'm glad you had to come on the JS Report this week.
Thank y'all so much. And you know what? Thank y'all for everything that you do for high school sports around the city. I know we don't tell you enough, but I mean, it's guys like you that make what we do is why we do it. You know, and thank y'all enough. I can't thank y'all enough.
I appreciate it.
Look forward to next week on the JS Report.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Coach. Good to see you.
How you doing? Appreciate it. Hey.
Something wrong?
Yeah, what's going on there? We got Millington, we got Bartlett, we got.
Millington starting.
But we have no Cordova stuff. I'm here to talk about Cordova, but there's nothing up here.
Well, I never got anything.
Okay, well.
Oh, you want to take care of that?
Hold on. No, stay there.
Oh, okay.
I got some material for you to study up on the history of Cordova and the success.
What?
Hold on.
That's some of our old newspapers.
Because we're in there.
Oh my. Oh, I gotta go back through all the history of Cordova. This is all from 2000. Dang, they've been doing a lot since the year 2000. Y'all got books? Coach, seriously? Where? You got the U.S. Postal Service involved in this? Oh, what, the Tyler Harrison something?
Oh yeah, this was just Tyler's junior year.
Oh my, well, I did join with the Tigers. So.
Hey, so study up on us.
Thanks, Coach.
And you know what? Since you disrespect me, cue my music.
Your music.
You know what my music is.
Oh my goodness.